Good day everyone, I'm Joan Gutierrez and our topic is all about the characteristic of learner-centered teachers. At the end of the lesson, students are expected to explain the Philippine Standard for Teachers framework, appreciate by heart the process of becoming and being a teacher, and describe and expound the skills and competencies of the 21st century teacher. Let's start with the Philippine Standard for Teachers framework. Teaching is the world's most important profession. Teaching is immensely satisfying and exciting. From your own experience, teachers makes a difference in students' life. It is well known that teaching is a vocation, not a profession. Teachers create other professional with their hands. Ang pagtuturo ay hindi lamang siya basta trabaho o propesyon ng isang tao. Ito ay isang bokasyon. Ang ibig sabihin, ginagawa ng isang teacher ang kanyang trabaho dahil passionate siya na gawin ito at dedicated at willing siya na makatulong upang maabot ng bawat mag-aaral ang kanilang pangarap. Ang pagiging isang guro ay hindi lang nagtuturo para sa salary o benefits na makukuha nila. Ginagawa nila ito dahil dedicated sila na mag-exert ng effort para hubugin ng bawat mag-aaral. Teachers create other professional with their hands. In simple explanation, dahil sa mga teachers, may mga architect, police, doctor, nurse, engineer. Sila ang mga unang humuhubog sa mga skills at abilities ng mga professionals na ito. Kaya kung magaling ang isang teacher, magaling din ang future professional na kanilang mapoproduce sa ating bansa. Next is Professional Standard for Teachers. To improve teacher quality, the Philippine government has launched several initiatives. Isa na rito ang NCBTS o ang the National Competency-Based Teacher Standard. Naisabatas ito sa pamamagitan ng CHED Memorandum Order No. 52 Section 7 of 2007 and Department of Education Order No. 32 Section 3 of 2009. Ang NCBTS ay nagsisilbing gabay o framework kung ano ang dapat na kaalaman, kasanayan at asal ng pagiging isang epektibong guro. Layunin nitong matulungan ng mga guro ng mas mapaunlad ang kanilang pagtuturo at masiguro na natututo ng maayos ang mga estudyante. Kabilang rin sa NCBTS ang mga several programs tulad ng Basic Education Assistance for Mindanao or BEAM, Strengthening Implementation of Visayas Education or STRIVE, and the Third Elementary Education Project or TIP. Sa madaling salita, ginawa ang NCBTS para magkaroon ng iisang pamantayan sa pagiging isang mahusay na guro at para patuloy na mapaunlad ang kalidad ng edukasyon sa ating bansa. Teacher quality requirements in the Philippines have changed since the K-12 reform or the RA 10533 was implemented in 2013. In addition to supporting the development process, ensuring the quality of teacher is equally important. High-quality teachers are equipped and prepared to assume the responsibilities and functions of every teachers. Sa pagpapatupad ng K-12 reform or RA 10533 or the Enhanced Basic Education is nadagdagan ng grade level sa secondary. So, nadagdagan din ng mga topics na hahawakan ng mga teacher. Kailangan ang mga teacher ay handa at bihasa para mas maging epektibo sila sa pagtuturo ng mga panibagong specialized subjects. Kung dati ay hanggang grade 10 lang, ngayon ay may grade 11 and 12 na. Kaya dapat ang mga teachers na i-assign sa pagtuturo ng mga panibagong subject ay updated at well-trained. From pre-service education to in-service training, the Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers complement NCBTS, providing measures of professional learning competent practice and effective engagement articulates what constitutes teacher quality in the K-12 reform. For teachers to achieve competency, improve student learning outcomes, and ultimately quality education, this set of standards specifies what they need to know, be able to do, and value. Para saan nga ba ito? Ang PPST or Philippine Professional Standard for Teachers ay parang guidebook para sa mga guro. Naglalaman ito kung ano ang mga dapat alam ng guro, kung ano ang skills na kailangan nila, at kung ano ang mga values na dapat dala-dala nila habang sila ay nasa field of education. Bakit nga ba ito mahalaga? Para hindi lang sila magaling sa subject na hawak nila, kundi magaling din silang makitungo at makisama sa mga estudyante na kanilang may encounter. At higit sa lahat, is dapat marunong silang gumamit ng mga panibagong paraan ng pagtuturo tulad na lamang ng pag-i-integrate ng teknolohiya.
The teacher's quality in the Philippines. So, the Philippines Professional Standards for Teachers define teachers' quality in the Philippines. The standards aim to improve teachers' knowledge, practice, and professional engagement. As teachers meet the standards, they can apply their knowledge more effectively and grow in their understanding. Means refers to 37 strands describing more specific aspect of teacher practice. The first domain is about content knowledge and pedagogy is composed of 7 strands. The first strand is about application of content knowledge within and across curriculum areas. This means teachers not only know their subject well but can connect ideas within the subject and to other subjects. Example, a science teachers explain how math skills like graphings are used in experiments linking science and math. The second strand is about knowledge and principles of teaching and learning based on research. Teachers understand how students learn best based on educational research and use effective teaching methods. The examples is knowing that the students learn better when actively engaged. A teacher uses group discussions instead of just lecturing. The third is making good use of ICT. ICT is an information and communication technology. The teachers use technology tools to enhance learning and make lessons more interactive. The examples is using Kahoot quizzes to review lessons to help students learn in a fun and engaging way. The fourth is numeracy and literacy strategies. The teachers use specific techniques to help students improve their reading, writing, and math skills. The examples is a teacher uses graphic organizers to help students understand a story's plot or uses number lines to teach additions. The fifth is strategies for developing higher order thinking skills such as critical and creative thinking. So this means the teachers encourage students to analyze, evaluate, and create new ideas, not just about memorize the facts. Examples is asking students to compare two historical events and discuss their causes and effects that promotes critical thinking. The sixth is about teaching and learning mother tongues, Filipino and English. So the teacher supports learning in students' first languages as well as in Filipino and English that recognize the importance of multilingual skills. The examples of this is the teacher uses stories in the students' mother tongue to explain concepts before transitioning to English to ensure the understanding. The seven is strategies for communicating in the classroom. The teachers use a clear, effective communication methods to ensure student understands instructions and the content. The examples is using simple, clear language and visual aids when giving instructions or using signals like 1, 2, 3, eyes on me to get attention before starting a lessons. The second domain is about learning environment consists of 6 strands. The first strand is about security and safety for learners. This means making sure that the classroom is a safe place, physically and emotionally. Teachers follow rules and procedures that protect students from harm and create a secure atmosphere. The examples is a teacher explain and enforce fire drill, the procedures and ensure students to feel comfortable sharing ideas without fear or ridicule. The second strand is about an environment conducive to learning. This strand that focuses on creating a positive, respectful, and supportive classroom culture where the students want to learn
and feel valued. It includes setting high expectation and showing that the content is important. Example is the teachers say this math concept is really important because it helps us to solve real world problems. So it encouraging students to take pride in their work. The third is organization and management of classroom activities. So the teachers organize routines and transition smoothly so that the class time is used efficiently and students know what to do next without confusion. The examples of this is when moving from a group discussion to independent work. The teachers clearly signals the change and students quickly settle in their tasks. The fourth is providing support for learners' participations. This means encouraging all students to be involved and helping them engage with the lessons. Teachers support students who struggle and promote collaboration. Examples is a student asks a classmate to explain a difficult idea they didn't understand from the teacher's explanation. That's showing fair support. The fifth is about purposeful learning promotion. The teachers actively promote meaningful learning by challenging students intellectually and helping them see the value in what they are learning. Examples is the teacher says, let's work on this challenge problem together because it will help you think critically. It's about motivating students to try harder. The sixth is behavior management for learners. This involves setting clear expectations for behavior and managing disruptions effectively to maintain a focused learning environment. Examples is when a student is off task, the teacher calmly reminds them of the classroom rules and redirects their attention to the work.
The third domain is about diversity of learners that consists of five strands. This domain focuses on teachers understanding and responding to the diverse characteristics and backgrounds of their students to create an inclusive and effective learning environment. The first strand is about learning styles, strengths, interests, and needs of the learners. Teachers use differentiated instructions tailored to students' unique learning preferences and strengths. The examples is using visual aid and hands-on activities for students who learn better through seeing and doing, while providing reading materials for those who prefer textual learner or learning. The second strand is about learners' linguistic, cultural, socioeconomic, and religious background. Teaching strategies incorporate students' cultural experiences and languages to make lessons relatable. The examples is encouraging students to share their cultural traditions or using familiar local contexts. The third is gifted, talented, and disabled student. The teachers implement strategies that challenge gifted learners and support students with disabilities. The examples is assigning creative projects to gifted students and providing additional scaffolding or assistive technologies for students with disabilities. The fourth is those learning under challenging circumstances. Uh, this means recognizing special needs of learners facing difficulties such as illness, displacements, or abuse. Examples of this is providing flexible deadlines or counseling support for students affected by trauma or geographic isolation. The fifth is those from indigenous groups who are learning. This means using inclusive teaching methods that respect and integrate indigenous knowledge and languages. Examples is incorporating indigenous stories or languages into the curriculum to affirm learners' identities. The fourth domain is about curriculum and planning includes five strands. This domain involves designing and managing learning experiences that are relevant, aligned with competencies, and enhanced through collaborations and technology. So the first strand is about planning and managing the teaching and learning process.
This means organizing lessons and resources effectively to meet learning goals. The examples is creating weekly lesson plan that sequence activities logically and allocate time for review. The second strand, a learning outcomes align with a learning competencies. So this means ensuring that the objectives clearly reflect the skills or knowledge student should acquire. Examples, setting a learning outcomes like student will able to solve quadratic equations that align with the competency in math standards. The third is the relevance and responsiveness of learning programs. So this means adapting curriculum to meet students' needs and current context. Examples, integrating current events into social studies lessons to make learning timely and meaningful. The fourth is enhancing teaching practice through professional collaboration. This means working with your colleges to improve instructional strategies. Examples, participating in teacher study groups to share best practices and resources. The last is about the use of ICT or information, communication, and technology in teaching and learning. So this means incorporating technology tools to support learning. Examples using educational apps or online quizzes to engage student and assess understanding. The fifth domain is about assessment and reporting is composed of five strands. The first strand is about choosing assessment strategies, organizing them, and implementing them. This means is selecting appropriate formative and summative assessment. Examples is using quizzes, projects, and presentations to evaluate different skills. The second is learning progress and achievement monitoring. Tracking student performance over time. Examples is maintaining gradebooks progress charts to identify students needing extra support. The third is providing feedback to improve learning, giving constructive comments that guide students' improvement. Examples is writing specific notes on assignment about how enhance clarity or reasoning. The fourth is providing key stakeholder with information about the needs, progress, and achievement of the learners. This means communicating with parents, administrators, and students. Examples, holding parent-teacher conferences and sending progress report. The fifth is about enhancing teaching and learning practices programs to the use of assessment, using assessments result to adjust instructions and curriculum. Examples is about teaching concept where many students perform poorly or enriching as lessons for advanced learners. The sixth domain is about community linkages and professional engagement consists of four strands. The first strand is creating learning environment that fit the community. So this means teachers make classroom and activities that relate to the local culture, needs, and experiences of the students. Examples is a teacher in a farming community might include lessons about agriculture, or local plans to make learning more relevant. The second is involving parents and the community in educations. The teachers encourage parent and community members to participate in school activities and support students' learning. Examples is organizing a reading program where parents volunteer to help students improve their reading skills. The third is professional ethics. The teachers follow rules and behave responsibly, fairly in their work. Examples is maintaining confidentiality about student personal informations. The fourth is about school policies and procedures. The teachers know and follow the school's rules and guidelines. The teachers are or the examples of this is about understanding and schools attendance policy applying it consistently. So the last domain or the domain 7 is about personal growth and professional development that contains five strands. The first strand is about philosophy of teaching. Teachers develop their own beliefs about how students learn best and what teaching needs or means.
Examples is a teachers believe in student-centered learning where students actively participate rather than just listen. The second is teaching as a profession of dignity. This means teachers behave in a way that respects the importance and honor of their job. Examples is dressing professionally and treating students and colleges with respect. The third is collaboration with colleges. The teachers work together with other teachers to improve their teaching and solve problems. Examples is sharing lesson plans or co-teaching a class. The fourth is about reflecting and learning to improve teaching. This means the teachers regularly think about their teaching and learn new methods to get better. Examples is after a lesson, a teacher thinks about what worked well and what didn't, then adjust their approach. The fifth or the last strand is about developing professional skills. This means teachers keep learning new skills and knowledge related to teaching. The examples of this attending workshops or online courses to learn about new educational technology.
Now, let's move on to career stages. Professional development for teachers occurs on a continuum from the beginning to exemplary practice. The elements of high quality teaching for the 21st century are explicitly defined for teachers at different career stages. Teachers' understanding have been translated into descriptor in each of the four career stages by providing a foundation for attracting, preferring, developing, and supporting teachers. The descriptor provides a continuum of development within the profession. Of course, there are qualifications na needed to be a certified teacher, not just by a degree but also by the means of knowledge and capability to teach students. Such standards was established to build a quality teaching professionals, and so as the teacher has a career stages where it has to be passed on before moving on to the next to improve the quality of their teaching methods and knowledge. Career Stage 1 Beginning Towers. Teachers beginning their careers have gained the qualifications to enter the professions. In terms of content, knowledge, and pedagogy, they are knowledgeable about the subjects or areas in which they are trained. Career Stage 1 is a beginning process whereas the teacher must have completed a certain degree of education to be qualified in the said profession. Of course, a teacher must have an expertise subject of knowledge where he or she can teach to others through the means of teaching. Career Stage 2 Proficient Teachers. Professionally competent teachers apply skills vital to the teaching and learning process independently. In addition to meeting curriculum and assessment requirements, they provide focused teaching programs. Career Stage 2 states that a teacher must be proficient in the knowledge they are teaching of. Continuously learning and using the said knowledge can improve the consistency of the deliberation of it. It states na ang teacher ay dapat competent enough to learn more and teach in a way na naiintindihan ng lahat at appropriate sa current situation. Career Stage 3 Highly Proficient Teachers. High-performing teachers consistently demonstrate high levels of performance in their classrooms. Teaching and learning processes are understood in depth and sophisticatedly by them. Career Stage 3 is stating that a teacher who is continuously learning and adapting to new knowledge can demonstrate a highly effective learning process na nagpapakita kung gaano ka competent as a teacher at alam mo ang bawat pasikot-sikat ng topic na itinuturo mo. Career Stage 4 Distinguished Teachers. In accordance with global best practices, distinguished teachers sensibly the highest standards of teaching. It is evident that they are exceptional teachers who are capable of improving their own teaching practices and those others. In pursuit of teaching quality and excellence, they strive for professional advancement and relevance. Career Stage 4 are the teacher who's in pursuit of advancement in terms of knowledge. These are the ones that can make or remake a learning process that can fit a certain type of audience. Ito yung mga type ng teachers na patuloy na nag-aaral to improve their capabilities in teaching na relevant sa mga bagong panahon. Becoming and being a teacher. In general, education quality is strongly influenced by teachers. Effective teachers are also said to have a particular set of dispositions. A disposition is a state of mind that creates an inclination to act in specific ways. While we cannot observe a disposition as it is not a behavior, we can observe behaviors that seems to reflect dispositions. Dispositions are the characteristic, qualities, or personalities na dapat tinatangi ng isang tao or ng isang teacher. Now, let's talk about some disposition na dapat tinatangi ng isang teacher. Examples of dispositions are compassion, to empathize and seek to understand, to display unconditional positive regards for student and faculty, and to try to understand the motivation and environmental circumstances of students, parents, and faculty. First is compassion. This is a quality that a teacher must really have because students or even other teachers have different life outside of school, so we need to know how to empathize and understand every possible situation to make a positive room for everyone for better learning environment. The second one is kindness. Of course, a person must be kind to others not just as a teacher, but all person must have kindness. A teacher must be kind, making positive attitude to all can make positive vibes to the surrounding. The third one is courage. A teacher must be courageous enough to stand up when things are not right, not just for oneself but also to the students, other teacher and faculty members. Courage is a must to display a good example of how to stand up and be ourselves. Positive attitude. A teacher must and should always display a positive attitude towards people around to make a good relationship with each other. The last one, honesty and integrity. She must be honest to all the things she might have said, teach or do to be a good leader of the society. A teacher should always follow the right discipline and be honest all the time.
What makes a good teacher? Develop a good working relationship without showing favoritism while creating positive learning atmosphere, being able to engage students and involve them with your personality and those who lack motivation. Ang isang mabuting guro ay hindi lamang magaling magturo, kundi marunong ding bumuo ng maayos na relasyon sa kanyang mga estudyante at ang pagiging pantay-pantay sa pagtrato sa bawat students na walang pinipilit o nagpapakita ng favorite dahil isa ito sa mahalagang aspect ng pagtuturo, ang pagkakaroon ng pagkakaunawaan at respeto sa loob ng classroom. Ang pagiging mabuting guro ay hindi lamang nakabase sa talino o kaalaman, kundi kakayang magbigay inspirasyon, umunawa at magtaguyod ng magandang relasyon sa mga mag-aaral. 1. It is essential to be patient when it comes to slow learner, leading student and those who lack motivation. Bilang isang guro ay napakahalaga ng pagiging matiisin o mahabang pasensya lalo na sa mga estudyanteng mabagal matuto or tinatawag na slow learner na nangangailangan ng mas maraming atensyon at ang mga nawawala ng motivation dahil hindi naman pare-pero ang kakayahan ng mga estudyante, kaya kailangan natin sila intindihan at bigyan ng sapat na gabay. In order to clarify a question, you must answer it clearly and concisely. Bilang isang guro ay dapat malinaw at maayos na pagsagot sa tanong kapag may tanong ang mga estudyante. Dapat nating sagutin ito ng malinaw at direkta para mas maunawaan nila ang kanilang gustong itanong. 3. An organized, punctual teacher shall produce a well-planned lesson with appropriate materials. Ang isang mahusay na guro ay palaging handa na merong maayos na lesson plan at mga kumpletong kagamitan sa pagtuturo. Dahil dito, mas nagiging epektibo ang pagkatuto ng mga estudyante. 4. It is often necessary to use miming or body language to convince a sense of humor without resorting to sarcasm antics. Minsan, kailangan natin gumamit ng body language upang magpatawa dahil dito natin mahihikayat ang atensyon ng mga estudyante. Pero kailangan din natin gawin sa paraang professional na hindi nakakasakit ng damdamin ng bawat estudyante. 5. The ability to adapt and to be resourceful. Bilang isang guro ay dapat tayo ay marunong umangkop sa iba't ibang sitwasyon dahil may mga pangyayari na hindi natin inaasahan. Halimbawa na lamang is kung may problema sa classroom o sa kakaibang pangyayari sa klase, kailangan natin mag-isip ng mas alternatibong solusyon upang hindi masayang ang oras sa pagtuturo. 6. Create a green, adapt teaching materials and also emphasize with the student to build rapport. Bilang isang guro is responsibilidad natin gumawa at iangkop ang mga materials para sa mga estudyante upang mas epektibo ang kanilang pagkatuto. Kailangan din nating unawain ang mga nararamdaman ng bawat isa upang mas mapalapit tayo sa kanila at magkaroon ng tiwala at respeto.
Becoming a teacher, one teacher, many roles. A teacher wears a various hats. There is a lot more in teaching than just showing up and giving the day's lesson. It means that being a teacher does not more than just teach lessons. A teacher has many jobs in the classroom. Sometimes the teacher is a leader, sometimes a helper, and sometimes a friend. Teachers explain lessons, but they also help students when they have problems, encourage them when they feel shy, and keep the class in order. Teachers must be kind, patient, and able to change their way of teaching to fit what the students need. Being a teacher means doing many things every day to help the students learn, grow, and feel good about themselves. Controller, person responsible for managing classes. It means that the teacher leads the class by giving instructions, managing time, and making sure everyone stays focused. This role is important for keeping the lesson on track and organized. Number 2 is assessor, checking and determining how to give feedback such as error correction. Assessor, the teacher checks students' work, observes their progress, and gives feedback. They help students understand their mistakes and guide them on how to improve. Number 3, a resource, especially in developing countries where resources are limited. Especially in places where there aren't many materials, the teachers become a valuable source of information. Students can ask questions, and the teacher helps them find answers and understand new things. Number 4, coach, promoting class participation, especially for shy students. The teacher encourages students to participate more in class, especially those who are shy or nervous. Like a sports coach, they build confidence and help students practice. Number 5, tutor, provides one-on-one instruction. Tutor, the teacher works with the individual students who need extra help. This one-on-one time helps the student focus on their specific problems and improve more quickly. Number 6 is organizer, guides students through activities and provides feedback. In this, the teacher prepares and sets up the classroom activities, explains what to do, and gives support during the task. They make sure the activity runs smoothly and everyone is involved. Number 7, facilitator, facilitates student interaction. In this, the teacher creates an environment where students feel free to talk, share ideas, and learn from each other. They guide students but don't control every moment. Number 8 is counselor, providing language learning assistance. The teacher supports students emotionally and academically. They help students deal with learning difficulties or fears and encourage them to keep going. Number 9, an instructor. Traditionally one who instructs students in grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. It means that the teacher directly teaches important part of the language, such as grammar rules, vocabulary meanings, and correct pronunciation. Number 10, a provider of experiences. Students need as many language examples as possible to practice the 4 skills they need. The teacher gives students as many chances as possible to use the language in real ways, through speaking, listening, reading, and writing activities. Number 11, model, especially in terms of pronunciation. Teacher speaks clearly and correctly so students can learn by example, especially when it comes to pronunciation and sentence structure. Number 12, a motivator, ensuring language targets are met while students' interests are maintained. It means that the teacher keeps students interested and excited about learning. They make lessons fun and meaningful so students stay engaged and meet their goals. Number 13, an authority. Students are heavily dependent on the teacher's words, so generalizations should be avoided or explained. It means that the teacher is someone students rely on for correct information. Because students trust their words, the teacher must be careful and clear when explaining language rules. Number 14, an arbiter, assessing error correction while balancing fluency and accuracy. It means that the teacher decides when to correct mistakes and when to let students keep talking to build confidence. They balance between fluency and accuracy. Number 16, a disciplinarian, vital to maintaining order in the classroom. This means that the teacher sets rules and makes sure the classroom is a safe and respectful space for learning. They handle behavior issues fairly and calmly. Number 17, a balancer, constantly changing scales. It means that the teacher adjusts their teaching based on what the students need. They might switch rules throughout the lesson depending on the activity or the mood of the class. Number 18, a mentor, providing insight into another culture through language. It means that the teacher shares not just the language but also cultural insights. This helps students understand how people use the language in real life in different parts of the world. 19, a prompter, supporting the students' initiatives such as through role-playing activities. It is when students struggle to find words or ideas, the teacher gives small hints or suggestions to help them continue. This is useful in creative tasks like role plays. 20, participants. In this participant, the teacher joins students' activities like group discussions to show interest and support. This helps make the activity feel more real and less like a test. 21, a performer, behaving appropriately based on the activity. Teacher may use a lively and expressive style like storytelling or acting to keep students engaged and make learning more memorable. 22, rapport builder, respecting and recognizing students, listening to them, and being even-handed with them. It means that the teacher builds a strong, respectful relationship with the students. They listen, show kindness, and treat everyone fairly. creating a positive and trusting classroom atmosphere.
21st century teacher in the fourth industrial revolution. Today, information comes in all shapes and sizes and is gradually growing more and more uncontrollable. The coming of millennial kids, the Gen Zs, with advanced intelligence and digital ability has posed numerous difficulties to instructors. The fourth industrial revolution is powered by artificial intelligence, and it will transform the workplace from task-based characteristic to human-centered characteristic. The convergence of man and machine will reduce the subject distance between humanities and social science and science and technology. Nasa panahon na tayo ng teknolohiya. Halos lahat ng tao ay gumagamit ng digital, like cellphone, AI, online classes o social media. Ang mga estudyante ngayon ay tinatawag na digital natives, kung saan sila ay sanay sa fast information, videos, Google, chat or AI tools. Kaya ang mga guro ay dapat marunong din gumamit ng teknolohiya para hindi outdated ang style ng kanilang pagtuturo. For example, ang mga guro ay dapat sanay gumamit ng Google Classroom, PowerPoint, videos, or AI apps para mas maintindihan ng estudyante ang lesson na kanilang ituturo. Teachers of the fourth industrial revolution should be, first, a model of lifelong learning. Teachers need to continuously update their knowledge and skills to keep up with the changing times and to better serve their students. Learning should not stop after their education studies. They need to be lifelong learners and continuously adapt to the evolving needs of society. Ang mga guro ay dapat hindi sila tumitigil na matuto. Kahit tapos na sila sa college, is kailangan patuloy pa rin yung pag-aaral nila, like pag-attend ng mga seminars, training, reading, or online courses. Nang sa ganon, is hindi maging limitado yung kaalaman or information na maaari nilang maibahagi sa kanilang mga estudyante. Next is a model of empathy. Empathy is necessary to understand people from different places, but it requires us to see individuals as human beings rather than means to personal gain. Genuine empathy cannot be learned by machine, but humans can learn and practice it. Empathy means pag-unawa sa damdamin ng iba. Meaning, ilalagay natin yung sarili natin sa kung ano yung sitwasyon o kinalalagyan ng ating mga estudyante para maramdaman natin kung ano nga ba yung pakiramdam ng sitwasyon na meron sila. Mahalaga ito sa guro dahil hindi lang utak ang tinuturuan nila. Dapat may puso rin. May mga estudyante tayong ma-encounter na tahimik, may mga broken family, may mga mahiyain. At bilang isang guro, mahusay na guro, kailangan is marunong tayong umintindi or marunong tayong mag-adjust sa kung ano yung nararamdaman ng mga estudyante natin. Effective teacher personal skill. Together with professional skills, effective teacher use their skill with the student as the skill play an essential role in student learning process, achievement, and behavior. The first one is caring. According to Gurney 2017, the most effective teachers care about their student and bring out the best in each one to encourage learning. Learning has been considered an emotional exercise that engages students by appealing to their emotions. Ang mga estudyante is mas natututo sila kapag alam nila na mahal at may pake sa kanila ang kanilang teacher. For example, kapag may absent, tinatanong ng guro kung okay lang sila, kung ano nga ba yung mga dahilan kung bakit sila umabsent. Nang sa ganito is maparamdam na guro na mahalaga at mahal niya ang mga estudyante niya. Next one is knowing student individually. Teachers who are effective and caring also know their student individually, offer them individual attention, and develop productive relationship with them. In turn, they expect the same respect from their student, which enhances their learning process. Ibig sabihin nito is, hindi lahat ng bata na ma-encounter natin ay pare-pareho. May mabilis matuto, may mabagal. Ang pagiging isang magaling na guro ay kilala ang bawat estudyante niya at ina-adjust niya ang paraan ng pagtuturo para sa kanila. The third one is teacher-student relationship. Effective teachers have teacher-student relationship in the classroom and demonstrate an interest in students' lives beyond the classroom, using various strategies to interact with them outside the class and the educational institution. This also encourages students to perform their best in the classroom. Kapag may respeto at tiwala sa isa't isa ang guro at estudyante, mas naging masaya ang klase, mas mataas ang participation. Even shy students feel safe to speak up. The last one, classroom environment. In fact, Wang et al. 2017 found classroom climate to be one of the most critical factors affecting student achievement, although student aggression has been strongly predicted by it. As long as students feel safe and confident to participate and attempt new tasks in the classroom, an optimal relationship with them allows them to achieve their potential. Ang classroom ay parang second home na ng mga estudyante. Kapag safe, welcoming at may good vibes ang classroom, is mas gusto nilang matuto. Like walang takot, hindi sila nahihiya, at lahat pwedeng matuto kapag ang classroom ay conducive at positive ang environment. To be an effective teacher, one needs to have both professional and personal skills, as well as a deep understanding and passion for the subject being taught. Creating a comfortable and inclusive environment that fosters interaction and diversity is also important. However, with the fourth transformation, schools need to have a successful strategy that embraces new technologies and prepares students for the digital age. The development of big data and facilities, technology will replace many processes, and educators need to adapt to this change in order to effectively prepare students for the future. Ang pagiging effective teacher daw po ay dapat mayroong professional and personal skills. Pag sinabi natin professional skills, ito yung galing nila sa pagtuturo, like paggawa ng lesson plan, paggamit ng technology, classroom management, assessment, at iba pa. Yung personal skills naman ay, ito naman yung ugali at pag-uugali ng isang teacher bilang tao. Kung paano ka makitungo sa estudyante, kung may empathy ka, kung may patient ka, at kung marunong kang mag-adjust sa iba't ibang sitwasyon. To be an effective teacher, ang pagiging isang guro ay hindi lamang pagiging magaling o mahusay, kundi marunong ding makisama at umintindi ng mga estudyante. Importante rin ang passion sa subject kasi yun ang nag-i-inspire sa mga learners. Sa pag-manage naman ng classroom, dapat ay inclusive at comfortable, kung saan lahat ng estudyante ay welcome at may freedom to express themselves. Ngayon naman na nasa 4th Industrial Revolution na tayo, may AI, automation at smart tech, kaya dapat gumamit ng makabagong teknolohiya ang mga schools. Teachers need to adapt ng mga panibagong strategies ng pagtuturo para maihanda ang kanilang students sa digital world.